welcome, and for many, welcome back. I'm Wendy Sellers, the HR lady, casual and straightforward with no sugarcoating. I believe that people are a company's greatest asset and should be treated as such. I'm trying my best to roll out short, solo monthly sessions of educational information. This is for folks that are interested in learning more, so they can build their own human resources or management career. It is also for small business owners who have to handle the HR functions. An author, speaker, podcast host, consultant, and teacher of reality, I have been in the human resources and operations game since 1998, fixing problems and educating people face-to-face, online, and from the stage. I am focused on results, and I am here to help you do the same. I also wanted to mention that I am a one-person company who does have access to vendors and contractors to help my business succeed. But the reason I share this information is to plead with you to give me some grace as I roll out this educational series. I am not a technology professional, so I am leaning on tech and AI to assist me. With that said, today we're diving into a topic that every small business owner, manager, and HR professional should care about: the importance of an end-of-year party or celebration. First things first, why do we even have these celebrations? Well, here's a stat for you. According to a recent survey by Robert Half, 93% of employees say that feeling appreciated by their employer motivates them to do their best work. And what better way to show appreciation than by throwing a party? It's a chance to say, hey, we made it through another year, we survived, and we even thrived. It's about celebrating wins, big or small, and giving everyone a chance to relax and bond outside of the usual work grind. But here's the kicker. End-of-year parties can also go wrong if they're not planned carefully. You want to make sure everyone feels included and valued, not like they're being forced into a celebration that doesn't resonate with them. So let's talk about how to make sure your party is one that everyone wants to attend, not one they're dreading or feeling excluded from. All right, let's address the elephant in the room. What do we call this thing? Is it a holiday party? Is it a Christmas party? Is it an end-of-year celebration? Here's the deal. The name matters. Why? Because the name sets the tone for the event and can either make people feel included or left out. If you call it a Christmas party, you're potentially alienating employees who don't celebrate Christmas. Now, if your entire team celebrates Christmas, maybe that's not an issue. But let's be honest, most workplaces today are pretty diverse, and not everyone is decking the halls or singing carols. Some people celebrate Hanukkah, some celebrate Kwanzaa, and some don't celebrate anything at all this time of year. Calling it a Christmas party might make people feel like the event isn't for them, and that's the last thing you want. On the other hand, calling it a holiday party is a nice way to acknowledge that there are lots of celebrations happening this time of year. It's inclusive and neutral enough that most people will feel comfortable. And if you want to be really safe, you can just call it an end-of-year celebration. It's simple, straightforward, and doesn't lean too heavily on any particular holiday, tradition, or religion. At the end of the day, it's about making sure your event title makes everyone feel welcome. You don't want anyone thinking, oh, this isn't for me, just because of what you named it. So choose wisely. Okay, so we've got the name sorted out. Now let's talk about how to make the actual party or celebration inclusive. And I don't just mean making sure there are vegetarian options, although yes, please make sure there are vegetarian options. I'm talking about decorations, activities, and the overall vibe. If you're going to decorate, keep it neutral. I know those twinkling Christmas lights are tempting, but try to avoid going full-on North Pole unless you're sure everyone's into it. Instead, think about winter-themed decor. If you are all in the Northern Hemisphere, snowflakes, lights, pine cones, and neutral colors can give your space a festive feel without leaning too heavily on one holiday. It's all about making sure no one feels uncomfortable or excluded by the decor. Honestly, it doesn't even need to be winter-themed. Let your employees choose. Consider creating a committee or tossing around a brief survey. Let's talk activities. If your idea of a good time is a Secret Santa gift exchange, you might want to think twice. Sure, Secret Santa is fun, but it's also very Christmas specific. Instead, consider a winter gift exchange, or just a gift exchange, or even a white elephant game, which doesn't tie into any particular holiday. Here's the deal. You are never going to satisfy 100% of your team. Some cannot afford gifts. Others, like myself, choose to be a minimalist and therefore do not want most gifts. I am certainly not going to turn down a gift card or a bottle of wine. Oh, and speaking of, many may have addiction issues with that bottle of wine. Yes, welcome to the part of HR that just might make you lose your mind. The part where you simply cannot please everyone, but please do your best to not offend people. You could also organize activities like trivia games, maybe with some work-related questions thrown in for a laugh, or even a year in review quiz where people can reminisce about funny moments from the past year, as well as really successful moments too. Another great idea is to include some recognition activities. You can have funny awards, like most likely to send an email at midnight or best Zoom background of the year, as well as more heartfelt recognition of people's hard work. It's a great way to make everyone feel appreciated. Food is a big part of any celebration, and it's important to make sure your menu is inclusive too. Be mindful of dietary restrictions such as gluten-free, vegetarian, vegan, kosher, and so many more. There are a lot of needs to consider, and making sure everyone has something they can enjoy is crucial. And let's not forget non-alcoholic drink options. Not everyone drinks alcohol, so have some fun mocktails or other beverages on hand. Now let's get into some of the do's and don'ts of office parties, because nothing ruins a good time faster than someone crossing a line. You know what I'm talking about. We've all heard those horror stories of office parties gone wrong, so let's make sure your party doesn't end up as next year's cautionary tale. It's important to set expectations before the party. I know. It sounds like a buzzkill, but trust me, having a quick note about party etiquette in your company, Slack or email, can save you a lot of headaches. Remind people that, yes, this is a party, but it's still a work event. That means keeping things respectful, not getting wasted, and remembering that HR is still watching, but also trying to have a good time. So don't make it awkward for us. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is making the party feel like a requirement. No one wants to be at a party they're forced to attend. The goal is to create an event that people want to come to. If someone doesn't feel comfortable attending for any reason, maybe they don't celebrate the holidays, or maybe they just don't like social events, that's okay. Make sure people know that attendance is optional, and don't hold it against anyone if they decide to skip it. So be careful with awards and bonuses. If attending the party is the only way for them to receive an award or bonus, you better make sure the party's easy to get to. Maybe even host it at or near the office during work hours, which they are paid for. Not everyone has transportation or childcare options after work hours. So consider those very real situations and plan accordingly. If you're serving alcohol, have a plan. This is where things can get dicey, especially if people go overboard. Consider having a drink limit or hire a professional bartender. And as I already mentioned, always make sure there are plenty of non-alcoholic options available. You want everyone to have a good time, but you also want everyone to get home safe and not regret their choices the next morning. You may even want to provide transportation or allow for reimbursements. We've talked about this a bit already, but it's worth repeating. Keep religious themes out of the party. Even if you think everyone on your team celebrates Christmas, there could be someone who doesn't feel comfortable speaking up. Keep it neutral, keep it inclusive, and focus on celebrating the end of the year and everyone's hard work. Okay? Real talk. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, things can get awkward. Maybe someone makes an offhand comment, or maybe there's a misunderstanding about a particular tradition or activity. Here's how to handle those situations. The best way to handle sensitive situations is to prevent them from happening in the first place. This means planning carefully, being mindful of everyone's beliefs and backgrounds, and setting clear expectations. If you know someone on your team doesn't celebrate holidays, Maybe check in with them beforehand and see if they have any concerns or suggestions. If something does happen that makes someone uncomfortable, address it quickly and respectfully. Don't brush it under the rug or wait until after the party to deal with it. Pull the person aside, listen to their concerns, and take action if needed. It's better to be proactive and make sure everyone feels comfortable than to let something fester and turn into a bigger issue. Every year is a learning experience. Maybe something didn't go as planned, or maybe you got feedback that a certain activity wasn't as inclusive as you thought it was. Take that feedback and use it to make next year's party even better. No one's perfect, but showing that you're willing to listen and improve goes a long way. All right, so we've talked about all the potential pitfalls and how to avoid them. But let's not forget, when done right, an end-of-year party can be awesome for your team. Here are some of the benefits of a well-planned, inclusive celebration. Plus, I will review some options for remote workplaces. Feel free to jump to the end for that. It's a chance for everyone to let loose a little, have fun, and celebrate the year's accomplishments. It shows your employees that you appreciate their hard work and that you value them as people, not just as workers. Getting out of the usual work environment and spending time together in a more relaxed setting can do wonders for team dynamics. People get to know each other on a more personal level, which can lead to stronger relationships and better teamwork back in the office. Your end-of-year party is a great opportunity to reinforce your company culture. If your culture is all about collaboration, make sure your activities reflect that. If you value inclusivity, make sure your party is inclusive. Every interaction is a chance to show your team what your company stands for, and a party is no exception. Now, let's get into some fun ideas to make your party a hit, because at the end of the day, this is still a party, and we want people to have a good time. Consider having a themed dress code, something fun, but not too over the top. Maybe it's Winter Wonderland where everyone wears white and blue, or Throwback Thursday where people dress in styles from their favorite decade. Just make sure the theme is broad enough that everyone can participate without feeling uncomfortable. A photo booth is always a hit. Set up a backdrop, get some props, and let people snap silly pictures. It's a great way to create memories. And you can even print out the photos or create a shared album for everyone to enjoy afterward. If your team is up for it, consider having a talent show or an open mic. It's a fun way for people to show off their hidden talents, whether it's singing, stand-up, comedy, or even some impressive yo-yo tricks. Just make sure it's optional. No one should feel pressured to perform if that's not their thing. Create a short video highlighting some of the big moments from the year. It could be work-related wins, funny moments from Zoom calls, or anything that brought a smile to the team's face. It's a nice way to reflect on everything you've accomplished and end the year on a positive note. You might want to check with any employees in the video before release, though. You may think it was a fun moment, but they may be mortified to see it again. If your team likes games, consider setting up some interactive activities like trivia, charades, or even a scavenger hunt. Make sure the games are team-oriented so people have a chance to bond with colleagues they might not interact with every day. Okay, now, what about remote workers? Here are some things you can consider for hosting a virtual end-of-year celebration to involve remote workers in festivities and enhance company culture. These activities aim to bring colleagues together, allowing them to share joy and camaraderie despite physical distances. You can do a recipe exchange. Encourage team members to share and prepare family holiday recipes, creating a digital collection of these recipes for everyone to enjoy and discuss, fostering a connection through cooking. Or how about a personalized year-in-review video? Team members create videos highlighting their personal and professional achievements over the year, which are then shared and celebrated collectively to appreciate everyone's unique journey. A virtual pajama party with strict guidelines, of course. Sorry, I had to throw that part in there. And year-end roast and toast, a session of lighthearted roasting, followed by heartfelt toasts to acknowledge each team member's contributions and celebrate the year's achievements. Tread lightly here, as this can go bad quickly. You can host an online auction. Team members bid on company items using virtual tokens, adding a competitive and fun element to the festivities. Or a virtual scavenger hunt where team members find items around their home within a set time, promoting engagement and interaction. Awards, party, an online ceremony where employees are recognized for their hard work and achievements with categories like Employee of the Year and Best Customer Service. Or how about a wreath-making party, a creative activity where team members make holiday wreaths during work hours? Just ship them all of the tools and supplies or a gift card to go get them. Then show them on Zoom making the product during paid work hours. This provides a relaxing and festive crafting session. Oh, how about a cocktail making event? You can do a virtual mixology session where team members create cocktails together, enhancing the festive spirit. Just make sure you have non-alcoholic options too. An online holiday picture booth is an activity where employees can take festive photos with digital props and backgrounds, adding a fun and memorable element to the celebration. Finally, consider a holiday cooking party. This is a cook-along session where employees share recipes in advance, and you send the supplies or money in advance. Then everyone shows their end result if they opted in. But you know what? You can just give them money to order a pizza if that is what they prefer. For someone like me, being forced to cook would destroy my morale. Hopefully, these ideas help you not only make remote employees feel included, but also strengthen team bonds and create lasting memories as the year comes to an end. Remember, the goal is to celebrate the year's accomplishments and to show appreciation for your team. With a little planning and consideration, you can create an event that everyone will enjoy and remember for all the right reasons. All right, folks, that's a wrap on this first monthly solo educational episode. End-of-year parties can be a fantastic way to celebrate, build connections, and reinforce your company culture. But it's important to be thoughtful about how you plan it. Make sure the event is inclusive, fun, and comfortable for everyone. No one should feel left out, pressured, or uncomfortable. Oh, by the way, don't forget to subscribe, share it with your HR friends, and hey, maybe even play it during your next HR planning meeting. You can find more information about me and my background at thehrlady.com. Plus, I have a ton of free downloads on my website, including fact sheets, a recruiting guide, a list of common AI prompts related to human resources, lists of online or private courses and conference topics, as well as a free trial access to my online learning management system, Insider Access by the HR Lady, with no strings attached. Just go to thehrlady.com. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, keep it real, keep it human, and keep the holiday spirit inclusive. Take care.